Everybody. This is Vonda Evans, and I'm coming to you from 910 Superstation, and it's just I'm just blessed to be here. Um, I hope you are tuning in to me. For those of you who, by way of radio, by way of uh, social media, check you out. Happy Saturday. I want to start off by saying thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I want to, I'm very, very passionate, extremely passionate, sometimes to my disadvantage. But I want to say this because it's on my heart. About 7 years ago to be exact, 6 years ago, I had done a case called People versus Melendez. And I get a call from a man. And he says, I'd like to meet with you. And I was like, cool, what's up? What's up? And he said, well, listen, I saw what you did. And I've got a radio show on a radio station. And I'd like for you to be a part of that. And I was like, what? And as we talked, that man was Kevin Adele. And he shared with me his vision. And his vision was to have a talk radio show for primarily discussing African American issues with African American hosts. And I was like, okay, I go out to the station and it's like laid out. He gonna show you all his cars and everything. Very, very hard worker. And we start talking. And I said, I'm just curious. This is when I was just a judge, not a businesswoman. I said, talk radio? Like, we are in the 20th century. I mean, who listens to talk radio? He says, you got a minute? And he brought me in his office and we talked. And he shared with me this. He said, many, many years ago, he says, my father made a commitment to starting a station. He says, but my father was a man of vision. And my father did things at a time that, people kind of didn't understand. These are very wealthy people. And they made an alliance in the Black community. For those of you who do not know, Kevin Adele is Jewish American and I'm African American. And I was like, what? I mean, y'all got it going on. What's going on? He said we were bridge builders. And we believed that our plights were similar. This man not only, I said, well, he said, you don't know, we were talking about Louis Farrakhan. They know him by name. He has stayed in their home. Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. I said, but this is what I don't understand. You can make so much more money if you play records or music. He said, that's not what I want to do. He said, I want this to be a channel about learning, about exchanging ideas. I said, but wait a minute, Black people just don't traditionally listen, younger people listen to radio. He says, it's not about that. It's about being a voice in a community. I said, well, wait a minute, hold on for a minute. Let me see who else is going to be aboard. I'm on a board. And at that time, Malik Shabazz is still on. I don't remember, Adolph, so many diverse people who believe in this community, people who are activists, lawyers, judges, regular people, but have a commitment and a passion to educate and to share ideas. I said, but if you wanted to make this a right-wing station, you'd make millions. He said, at some point in time, it's not about the money. It's about a commitment to a community. Whether you make money or not, it's a commitment. Throughout those years, we have had disagreements. I've disagreed with him. He's disagreed with me. But one thing that we do here at 910, we believe in communication. If it's something that I got a problem with, I go to Kevin. If Kevin got a problem, he comes to me. And as a result, we have grown this station. People have come and gone, you know, that's okay. But the commitment has remained the same. What I have seen in recent weeks is sickening. I see two groups that were intricately linked in opposition, and it hurts me because I know that what we have at 910 is real. And I know that the people that are on this station are real. All I know is that I believe that communication is everything. And that if a person has a problem, communicate. Hate begets hate. I'm not into that. I only wish that we could take the model that we have here and share it with the world, that it's about communication. It's not about hate. I'm tired of that. And to see a man who is a businessman, straight up, about that dollar, I ain't mad at him, say, it's bigger than that, led me to say, you know what? I love Black people. And I'm going to commit 2 hours a day or 2 hours a week to giving free legal, to talking about what I think, and to educate people. And that's just not Black people. That's anybody listen. Because I understood that at some point in time, it's not about money. It's about a greater good. And as Americans, we got to commit to that. We got to stop focusing on our differences and focus on our commonality and bring ourselves together. But this hate, it's just too much. And it's too much for me because I have seen these two groups, Jewish Americans, African Americans, come together on so many issues. I believe that what we have is real here at 910, and it's communication. And it's bringing diverse people. I'm like, Kevin, how the hell are you going to bring all of these kind of people together? He said, watch me. And time again, we saw his commitment. I just wanted to start off by saying that. I hear my music. Thank you, Kevin Adele, for bringing us together. And we're going to be talking about some more stuff. Listen, hate's not where it is. Love, communication, that's where it is. We'll be back.
Agnes was in deep trouble with the IRS.
I owed the IRS.
My team of affiliate attorneys who have collected millions of dollars from insurance companies fight for you. If you don't win, you don't pay. Give us a call today at 1-833 Vonda, a name you know. Injured in an auto accident? Is the insurance company refusing to pay you for what you deserve? Lost wages, pain, and suffering? For 22 years, you trusted me as your Wayne County judge. Trust me to get the settlement you deserve. Let my team of affiliate attorneys who have collected millions of dollars from insurance companies fight for you. If you don't win, you don't pay. Give us a call today at 1-833 Vonda, a name you know. All right, okay. 22 years as a former Wayne County judge, I put on for my city. East side, south side, north side, west side too. Now let me come and bring my skill and talent and work for you. Criminal appeals, divorce, auto accidents, probate, and more. We do everything. That's what we do. Give us a call today so we can come and work for you. 1-833 Vonda Law. I put on for my city. Now let me come and work for you.
Vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh foods.
Times are tight financially, and it can be costly to get a good attorney. You deserve an experienced attorney who offers reasonable rates and low monthly payments to fight for you. If you've been charged with a crime, want a divorce, or need help with probate, call us today. Denied insurance or seriously injured in a car accident? You don't pay unless we win. Vonda's Law, experienced attorneys, affordable justice.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea?
Wow, that was my little advertising for my company. But what I said was real. And we got to come together. We really do. And I think that I see Dana Dane, who says, my girl from Romania, she says, listen, she says, I'm in Europe. She says, but I hear you. People's problems are extremely similar all over the world. But here's the situation, and I'm going to keep it 100. This hate, this ain't good for nobody. It's just not. We got to get beyond that. And I believe that we can. And the way that we do that is through dialogue. Everybody on here, Berlinda Good, Dana Dane, we all have differences, but we all have similarities in that we want to learn and we want to grow. And we're back. And we're back. And just for the radio listeners, it says, hey, Vonda, Dana from Romania, love your work, Judge. But she said, you know what? You were in America, but I hear you in Europe. People's problems are extremely similar all over the world. Life is hard. I got a mammogram scheduled. I'm like, oh, wow. We all have our individual challenges. Life is hard enough, but hate doesn't have to be a part of life. As a grown woman, let me tell you what I do. People say, well, I don't see you out, because I try to just stay in an area, in a zone where I can be positive, where I can be able to encourage people, so I can have positive content, so I can be able to look at things positively instead of dwelling on so much negativity. That is what we have to do. Oh, well, you're being idealistic. No, let me say this, and it's my belief. If we as a people focus on positive things, we will defeat evil and hate. But we have to make an individual choice. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to look up for the best in everybody. That's the only way we grow. And that's the only way this works out. You cannot always figure that you're going to solve every problem. Everybody got their issues. But what we have to do as people, as Americans, is come together. And that is what I believe. And I'm so thankful that, we have, that there's a station like 910 that is able to bring my viewpoint, which is not a reflection of the Dale communication at all, but that different people have an opportunity to bring their viewpoint about different things and to share and to open people's minds and hopefully their hearts as well, to see life differently. Life is hard for each of us. Everybody got their own challenge, whether it's a health challenge, a financial challenge. Everybody got a relationship challenge. Everybody got challenges. But what we got to do is make a commitment to focus on the good. I see Berlinda Good on here. This is my girl. She's a lawyer. Let me tell you something. She is passionate and committed to adoption. And she could say, well, I got my own kids and my grandkids. I ain't got to be into that. But she calls upon herself the greater good to do something in the community that's positive. We got to stop dealing all this negative, because sometimes if you let what you see on TV, you just see it day in, day out, it will make you depressed. It will make you anxious. It'll make you want to say, you know what? This world is screwed up. But it's my belief individually that we can make this place better. One by one, we can do our part. You know what? I just want to say this, and then this is it. I remember that before the pandemic, okay, you would see like animals on the street and stuff, and people just didn't care. Right around the pandemic, you saw a lot of people going to these shelters and getting dogs and stuff. All of a sudden, rescue dogs, it's like that's wearing diamonds and pearls. Forget a breeder. Rescue, rescue. We were able to take something as bad as the pandemic and start to look around and say, what can give me some comfort? And we went and we rescued animals, and they love us back. Now, let me say this to you. This tripped me out, okay? When you adopt animals, you got to go through like some little like process. Damn show like almost give your credit line or something. Okay, your mama, they got the right to come get it. Because for so long, we didn't concentrate on something like that. But that pandemic made us come together. And we were able to see these beautiful animals and love them and sites going up and millions of dollars poured into it. Because we sought to deal with, instead of a problem, to deal with a solution. And that solution's love. And it's just my belief that empowerment is everything. You have to learn, know what's going on, but that love is the cornerstone of everything. But that hate, I'm done with it. So if somebody want to call in and talk about that hate, I ain't the person to talk to, because I'm not for that. Okay. I'm smart enough to disagree without hating somebody. I don't even if I don't like what a person does, I'm not in a hate. Because I know that hate begets hate, and that's destructive. My mind ain't on that. I'm on something whole different. You know, we talk about relationships, we talk about the law, we talk about different current events. I'm into keeping, let's go, let's keep this positive, let's keep this moving. Because that is the only way that we change things, by keeping it positive. And, you know, Dana, it's on here, Bet, Dana Dane, Dominique, Berlinda, Facebook user, more people that not even, I don't see you. We wouldn't be here. You couldn't hear what I'm saying without somebody like a Kevin Adele to say, hey, I'm committed. This is what needs to be done. The money, whatever. But there's something bigger than money. And it is a commitment to education and to knowledge. And I am just so grateful that he was able to allow me to be a part of his vision. Me, Adolph, all of the other hosts, I just can't name because I'm old. I'm saying we coming together every week. Carrie, you know, we giving our perspective. You know, we doing different big girl things and big boy things, and I love it. And I just know that we're about that life. And people tune in from all over the world. You know what I'm saying? How you think that makes me feel that somebody like Dana Dane listening to me? We got Malik Shabazz. You know what I'm saying? We got all of these different people: Jewel Jones, Anthony Adams, Bankley Thompson, Al Sharpton, Lavonia Perryman, DJ Johnson, Monica Conyers, people all, and this ain't just this a little bit, because I listen, okay, I'm Brenda Hill, all of these different people coming together to be able to, Chrisette Ellis, Henry Payne, Horace Sheffield, to be able to do what? To be able to share, Troy Muhammad, to be Wade McCree, Monica Morgan, to be able to share our perspective about life, so that when you come to the station, you don't leave like you came. You're informed. You may not agree with everything, but it is a forum that is not, I don't even know another forum like this in Michigan, or probably in the country, that people of color are able to come together and to be able to express their opinions about health, about politics, about relationships, baby, this is cutting edge. And it's not about diversity, it's about being able to come together. And I just so thankful. I wanted to say that, and I just want to be able to say, if you got some, on these call-ins halftime, I don't let y'all talk no way, so it really don't matter because I be talking all the time. That come from my judge days, but I'm not into hate, and I'm not gonna go there. I just can't. My mind won't even allow me to do it. I have been delivered. And I look so far. Drina's, she from Sacramento, California. I would never be able to touch you all if it was not for this station, the opportunity. And so I'm just so honored that to be a part of this. Kevin Coles, who, and my producer who keep me right, keep me tight. You know what I'm saying? Listen, okay, Kevin Coles is he the mind behind this, baby. Let me tell you something. I be looking up, I be getting emails left and right from him, okay? But it's just an honor. And, like I said, as Americans, we need to come together. We need to work things out because at the end of the day, we all we got. We ain't got nobody gonna rescue us. We all we got. And we need to come together and figure this out. Okay. So that is what I wanted to say. That has been on my heart and on my mind. Okay. So thank you for allowing me to share that with you because it was very, very heartfelt. And, I've been always told, give honor those people who, put you in a position that you're a better person. And, when I look up stuff, I'm always thinking like, you know what, I'm going to talk about this. I want to talk about this. I hope that I have enlightened people. But if it hadn't been for Kevin Adele, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't be given this opportunity. And like I said, neither would any of these other predominantly Valerie Wade from Linden, Kentucky, predominantly Black activists, community people. We wouldn't be given this opportunity. And who gives it to us? A Jewish American man who's committed to bringing people together and to being able to educate you. Listen, let me tell you something. I bet sometimes he wish he could send me a script like, oh my God, girl, what you be talking about? All of them 6 things, and we could tell you ain't got no man. But if I go too far, it says slow down a little bit. But I love it. And I could probably go on for 2 hours, but I'm not. But I got some stuff I want to talk to you when we get back. Okay? Some serious stuff that I want to talk to you about. A little legal, and then that relationship stuff. We'll be back shortly. Thank you so much. So anyway, I've decided to take this time, to talk to you all about, different things. We're not on the air, but it is an opportunity just to, to be able to talk to you and let you know, how thankful that I am to you as well, that out of your day, you decide to tune in to me. We may not always agree, but you take the time to listen to me. And it makes me feel that what I'm doing is useful. It makes me want to learn more. It makes me want to do more because I know that educating and bringing information that you share with me and you say, well, Vonda, you're not right about this or this or that, but that is done in a meaningful, respectful way. That really that means a lot to me because I know it's a whole bunch of stuff, on social media that you all could talk, and see, but time and time again, week in, week out, you tune into me and it really motivates me to, do my due diligence and to share the law with you, to let you know about different things and explain the law to you and give you things and talk about, yes, relationships and different things and things that, and dealing with these relationships. Many times there are things I've gone through. And so I'm not trying to put nobody down. I'm trying to put y'all on game. Like, look, I wish I had somebody like me. I wish I had a person who I could go to when I was married or when I was dating that would be able to encourage me and to at least let me see a different perspective. It was trial and error. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was really there. I mean, I knew people that were married. I knew people who had had challenges in their relationship, but people didn't want to share it. They were very, very secretive. And I remember being a young woman having completely different ideas than I do now. But what I learned is that as I transitioned from a young woman to an older woman, I wanted to be able to share those ideas of it's not always going to be like this, but you just got to keep your mind focused and keep your eyes open and let's go. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to be able to do. And we're back.
But there is necessity to give out and disseminate information.
We are 910 AM Superstation. 910, the Superstation, the oldest radio station in town.
Well, it is the oldest radio station in town. And we're back. And we're back. Now, let me get on this other stuff now. Okay, so, I dealt with that and I feel so much better about that. So let me tell you something. Remember what I told you all. He or she who pays the piper calls the tune. Now, why did everybody knows that there is an affirmative action issue before the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court. What do we know about that? Well, what we know is that affirmative action, what they said with Bakke, it can't be the only, that was a USC versus Bakke. Race cannot be the only issue that you can focus on. However, it can be considered as an issue. And the reason that they were talking about it is that it was discriminatory against white people. Well, anyway, we've got a new case that's in the Supreme Court that deals with using race as a factor. Well, what do we know about the Supreme Court? Do you know that 5 of the justices are age 60 and less? What does that mean? Well, let me tell you this. The life expectancy of a justice, I don't know what in the world they must be feeding. I don't know what they eat. I do not know, what's going on. But I know this. I know that the life expectancy for many justices is 80 and above. Okay. Now, John Roberts, age 67. Clarence Thomas, 74, he old. Samuel Alito, 72, that's old. Brent Kavanaugh, 57. Neil Gorsuch, 55. Amy Coney Barrett, age 50. Okay. And Ketanji Brown Jackson, well, she's liberal. She's age 52. What does that mean? That means that these conservative judges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, John Roberts, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Brent Kavanaugh, Neil Gorsuch, and Amy Coney Barrett are going to be in a position for about 30 years to impact the United States. We saw from Roe v. Wade that there is going to be a overrule of certain laws. What do we know? Well, we know right now, the House is up for grabs. You have all of these congressional and races around the country. But here you got the Supreme Court. It's all by itself. It by itself. Here go the president. This the president. This the Supreme Court, and this is Congress. Okay. So it appears that now the Supreme Court has taken on very controversial and liberal cases to turn them back, to basically say, you know what, we're going to do what the Congress can't do. Because, see, they got the majority. Now, I don't, Clarence, like I said, now he a little old boy up there, okay? He a little old boy. But I'm saying that at least within the next 10 years, he's 74. Now, he is the oldest, okay? Then you got Samuel Alito right behind him, okay? So if they stay in good health, okay, we are going to see more controversial decisions coming out of it. Now, wait a minute. You know that the student forgiveness has been blocked. It has been blocked by 5 states and very conservative states. Well, they tried to do an emergency request to the Supreme Court. But Amy Coney Barrett even said, no, y'all ain't got standing. You got to be able to show that you harmed by that law. So if they going to forgive debt, how you harm? How you harm? Really? If I'm going to say, listen, you owe 100,000, it's forgiven. How can you show that you're harmed? Those litigants, they can't. And so they said, just leave it at the states. What does that mean? That means that now that law still is in flux. So let me tell you a strategy, not game, strategy that many justices or judges use. Okay. We'll deal with that in a year or two. Docket control. They can put that anywhere in their docket. So right now, what we see is that the student forgiveness is up in the air. Now, what happens is that when you start to see the reversal of Roe v. Wade, which didn't have nothing to do with the president or the Congress, we see the reversal potentially of this affirmative action case and other cases that are coming, because my belief, the very next case is going to be on gay marriages. I know it's going to be an attack on that, okay? And I don't see how somebody's agreed, but they'll come up with something. But let me say this to you. What happens is it makes that leadership look bad, okay? And we have allegedly in a couple weeks, supposedly, Donald Trump saying that he's going to run again. Now, what it looks like under the Biden, I'm going to be honest, it just looks like he don't know what he's doing. There are too many setbacks that are occurring. It wasn't nothing that he could do. But that, there are some issues in which, he has, taken more of a, to me, and it's my opinion, more of a, what do you call it? Social work view. Okay. This economy is all screwed up. It almost requires somebody like an economist to come in. Just found out the interest rate has gone up 0.75. Okay. Our interest rates are going up. I ain't got to tell you about how high food is. Traditionally, I did not go to off-brand, grocery stores. I was like, now some things I'm just not going to do. Baby, if I'm not shopping in them now and trying to find the organic stuff, food is outrageously expensive. Gas is outrageously expensive. You have people who just feel like this is ridiculous. Now let's go there. Even during the pandemic, everybody got a check. And that has changed the mind of many people. They, for health reasons or being lazy, they ain't going back to work, okay? But let me just say this to you. Right now, honestly, this overall president, I'm going to be watching it. But as I've indicated to you before, I will not just give my vote away because I have been a traditional a Democrat. I just can't do this. It's got to be somebody that got to come in and say, listen, this spending is out of control. We need to curtail some spending in some areas. We need to pull this together. We need to be able to invest in Americans so that, we can have more jobs. I don't care more jobs, and that we can be able to get things like milk, like gas. It's got to go down. European countries, they used to this $5. Everybody paying that, okay? And they don't even go by a gallon, they go by a liter. But we have not known that. And what it does, it's making Biden look very weak, very weak. Now, I'm going to tell you, the Trump and the overthrow of the Capitol, that was way too much. And I think that's a lot for a Republican. And so I think that if he tries to run, he's going to split that Republican ticket, because I don't believe that people going to go for that. That just was too much. And that just was just way too much. Okay. But the fact that this man is able to go to different states and to support candidates and have people to rally behind them, says that there are a lot of people that are disgruntled in the way things are going. This is outrageous. Inflation, and let me say what the economists have said. We've only seen the beginning. We're going to mess around and be in a damn recession trying to help everybody else. I know that it just is not, helping social welfare programs. I know it's just not that. But at some point in time, somebody got to come in here and figure out what's going on, because this is out of control. I'm going to say this to you. I don't even go outside. Why? Because I don't want to drive my car. I know I'm going to be under miles on my lease. But every time you go and you put $40 in, and I have like an SUV, and that's a fourth of a tank of gas, and they give me 30 or maybe 50 or 60 miles, this make me sick. I can't. This is just way too much. I know if I'm suffering, at least in my mind, I'm like, damn, how people who really can't afford gas, can't afford food, these people are suffering. And something has to be done. And what people do is they look at the top. They look at the top. And that's where they get the vision from. See, it's hard being at the top, because that's what people looking at from the top, like, what we gonna do? But this out of control. So I don't know. I'm open. I am honestly open, I would say, for the very first time in my adult life, to voting Republican. Yeah, voting Republican. I'm into it. And if there's a good enough candidate, I am going to be all in, because this economy, we got to do better. We got to do better. And that's my opinion, and that's what I'm going to do. But, nothing real crazy. We'll go into a commercial break. We'll be back. But as I said, I can't, this is out of control. Do you know now that the housing market is stagnant? You can't get money. I wanted to refinance my house. I said, well, do you have a 780 credit score? Because anything less than that, you're not going to qualify. So the interest rate is going up. Oh, I'm not even going to tell you about a co-sign for my daughter's loans. Well, we're private. So the loan forgiveness, well, your interest rate went up. I said I was paying $352. Now they want me to charge $1,000 a month. I'm like, who got that? Well, I don't know. You're going to have to try to get a second job or do something. But that's what it is. And it's like we're being penalized. Good people who want to work every day, You understand what I'm saying? But maybe I could pay it, but I can't pay that and buy grocery. I mean, and pay for prescriptions. And if I'm at the top 1 or 2% of African American male women or whatever, damn, I know people that's making less than me, they are suffering. And something has to be done about it. And all of this complaining ain't cutting it. We're going to have to get different leadership, because the leadership that we got now, it's just not cutting it. I believe that Biden is probably a really good man. I really do believe he has a good heart. But we need to be able to have some leadership that is going to figure out, we need to, how is it that we can go back to living the way that we did before? Because I do believe that there's still a possibility that can happen. We need to be more self-sufficient. Those little receiver things, we need to make sure we start building them over here. And I'm going to be honest. If you have states that got marijuana that's legal, all of that trying to test for marijuana by private companies, they need to stop too. Damn it, if it's legal, you ain't testing for alcohol. Somebody got a little nip and put a little something in their body, you ain't testing for that. But you got weed that's legal. But these people, well, if they test positive, they could drop some, they could do something. Well, what about them people that come into work drunk? We're not testing for that. We need to relax that. Then we'd have more people who be willing to go into the marketplace to get a job. But hell, don't nobody want no job for $8 an hour. That's all they can get. And we're back. And we're back. And like I said, many of the people say, well, the reason why people can't get jobs in Michigan is because they test positive for marijuana. Well, they ain't testing them for liquor. We need to relax that requirement. People act like marijuana is crap. Or if you take a puff, you're going to be, ugh. Baby, what? Let me tell you something. I know people who are drink white liquor so you can't smell it. Now, it's one thing if you enjoy white liquor, but you drinking white liquor so you can't smell it at the job place? But they ain't testing them for liquor. And so what happens is, if a person decides that they gonna smoke weed, okay? Oh, they can't get no good 15-hour job, but it's legal. But they can buy weed, but they can't work. The hell with all of that. Okay? That's what I'm saying. The hell with all of that. You can't make something legal and then penalize people because that's something that they want to do. But y'all ain't testing for liquor. Oh, let's see if you've consumed an alcoholic beverage. I know people, they getting drunk. They getting a taste before work. They get one for lunchtime. And as soon as they get off of work, they damn sure drunk. And they retire from very good jobs. Well, alcohol is legal. So is marijuana in many states. You can't penalize people like that. It's what we call draconian. That's wrong. You can't say it's legal and then say, oh no, but you can't get a job for $20 an hour now. You smoke your weed, but you can only work under the table because you smoke weed. Well, what about them drunks that be at work drinking that liquor? That's why they got them little pints. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Them $1.96. How you gonna get a little half a pint for $1.96? Anything for $1.96, as high as everything else is, and this still $1.96 or $2.90, well, maybe $2.96. I don't want it, because it's probably just straight up draconian. Okay. It's probably just straight up alcohol. But they got them little things, and they be open. Let me tell you something. The liquor stores here in Michigan, they open up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Now, who the hell need liquor at 8 o'clock? Them people that's going to work. Okay, they got to get their little mini boys and them little liquors that they be hiding around and putting in their jackets. But y'all, ain't nobody at these big companies smoking weed. But you act like people who use marijuana, oh my God, they serial killers. Oh, they are serial killers. The minute that they consume marijuana, they're not able to do anything, and they are just they're trash. And what you're doing is not true. Many people function even as well as they would, or somebody else that ain't on it, but you penalizing people and not allowing them to get good jobs because they don't. But the liquor heads, oh, they can, the liquor heads, they can get a drunk all day. Oh, and the burr. But I'm talking about Ethel. I'm talking about, do you know there are people that drink white liquor for one reason and one reason only? You can't smell it. Brown liquor, wine, beer, you can smell. It has an odor. What I'm saying to you, that's not fair. And so what happens is that people in the community, especially the Black community, you know, which everybody's smoking weed over here now, you can't get good jobs with the state, with the big three, but the liquor heads can. Oh, that's because marijuana is illegal. No, marijuana is legal. And it's my belief that we need to stop penalizing those people. We need to stop work for the state. Oh, you need to be drug tested. Like, when y'all testing for liquor, let me tell you what they test for: marijuana and opioids. That's it. Okay, now opioids is illegal. Marijuana is not. But the police, the sheriff, the big three, working out here putting the pavement down. So all them good jobs, you can be a drunk all day. I've heard people tell me, well, I had to get off liquor. I had to get off, I stopped smoking weed, but I started drinking. Huh? Because they don't test for that at my job. What? Yes. And we know that that's the truth. That would spur the economy just off of that. Just being able to say, if you skilled at something, we're going to put you to work. Do you know that would be able to jumpstart this community? But you got people who are heavily in addiction. They're there. We got it. But now they can't provide for their family because they smoke weed. But them liquor heads, oh, that's okay. I don't understand that. But we're going to have to figure out as a country how to get people back to work. And I'm going to say this to you. People that smoke marijuana, okay, draconian, I see you basically a severe law, exactly. I know people who smoke weed who are hard workers. Okay, I'm talking about, Valerie, the weed is legal in those states. In states where marijuana is legal, they should not be testing for it, period. At the state, local, and county level, they should not test for it because it's legal, because they don't test for alcohol. Okay? And in the Black community, you got a liquor store on every corner. You better believe it, baby. But they're not testing for it. Let's get them men and women back to work. That's one way that we can spur our economy. Way number two, we need to put more money in domestic issue, in the domestic programs, education, rehabilitation, mental health. But we'll take money and outsource it to other countries when we have a mental health crisis in America. We have a lack of training. We need to worry about ourselves for a little bit. How, look, coming to your house, Drina, talking about your house nasty, and trying to help you in your house clean up and my house a damn mess. You don't do that. Clean, but people do because they're hypocrites. Katie said they come from nurses and doctors on the federal level, just crazy. But you can be a drunk. Oh, you can drink all day. Let me say this to you. I really can't be as descriptive, but there's certain places that people put alcohol to be drunk all day that you wouldn't even know about on the body, that are not detectable, but that they are constantly absorbing alcohol. Now, if they doing that, they need to be fired. We'll be back. We got to take a station identification. That's what we used to call it back in the day. Remember? And as I said, what we need to do is we need to be able to tell our legislatures, okay, baby, let me tell you something. You want my vote? Well, then y'all need to go on back up there and make this mandatory drug testing for state, county, and local, okay? Because federally, marijuana is illegal. And we need to be able to say, if there is not a test for marijuana in order to get that type of employment. Now, you want my vote? That's what we need to do. But I'm no longer going to support candidates that believe that testing for marijuana is good and it's legal. And we need some laws on that because it's unfair. Because now, like I said, we got liquor stores on every corner, but we don't test for liquor. Oh, you tested positive for marijuana. Then they got it so bad, they be taking a little pee of your hair or your pubic, something that's, baby, it'll come up instantly from 9 months. Oh, well, you're not eligible for a job. Hell, they want to work like we do. You know what I'm saying? They ain't testing for cigarettes. Cigarettes legal. Oh, I'm sorry. Your nicotine level's too high. You can't do this job. I'm sorry. No one is saying that, but you test them for marijuana. And that is wrong. And it's all killing us. Nicotine, liquor, and marijuana. Okay, all of it. That's not the point. The point is we need to spur this economy. And we need to get good men and women who happen to be indulging in illegal behavior back to work. Oh, if you smoke weed, you impaired driving. Well, I'm not saying smoking in a car, but I'm saying to you, they making weed like, okay, the minute that you smoke some weed, you just gonna kill somebody. And hell, nicotine kill more people than alcohol and marijuana put together. But we're not testing for that at jobs. So you got good men and women who want to work, who can't, because they're indulging in something legal. So we need to take that to our elected officials and say, listen, we need to have a dialogue, a conversation about decriminalizing, or not decriminalizing because it's not a crime, but we need to have laws about at the state, county, and state, county level that say you can't test for marijuana if you want to work there. If we do that with the state and local level, private businesses will follow. But they want to see if you're going to do it. But y'all see, this is my problem with y'all. And we're back. Here, and we're back. And what my problem is with y'all so concerned about the commercials and people coming knocking at your door. Vote for me, I want a chance. And your child smoking weed can't get no job. But y'all won't have a conversation with them to say, well, what's your opinion on having the state and local level allow to stop drug testing for marijuana? Would you be a proponent for that? If the state and local levels did not test for marijuana, private businesses will follow suit. But we don't want to have that conversation. But these legislatures, you getting the money from these licenses for marijuana. Everybody is profiting from it, but you penalizing good people from holding jobs. You don't test for nicotine or liquor. And my belief would be this, that if a person wants my vote, let's have some dialogue about that. But nobody want to talk about that. We're going to have creative ways in which we get these people who are not working back to work. And it's not that they're lazy. I don't want to hear they're lazy. That's a lie from the pit of hell. They can't pass the drug test because they're smoking marijuana. But you're not penalizing the liquor heads or the people that smoke cigarettes. That's wrong. And what happens is that if people who indulge in marijuana, which is legal now, okay, it is legal in Michigan, you start to make people forget it. Ethel, you have never voted. Oh my God. What you start to do is it leads to depression. It leads to anger. It leads to a whole bunch of problems. Why? Because you're penalizing people based on what you believed it used to be. Then over there in Amsterdam, oh, you test positive for the marijuana, you can't get no job. No. Are you skilled? But we got to stop doing that. And I know more people, and this would kill me, that are in law enforcement that are straight up alcoholics, but they still there because their drug of choice is something that the community deems to be okay, liquor. But if you try to go to be the police and you fail and you smoke marijuana, oh, you can't be the police. Yeah. Babe, let me tell you something. We have the resources, but the vision and the overall way that we look at things, it has to change. It has to change. But nobody wants to take up that fight. I've not seen one elected official in Michigan talk about we need to allow state and local government to not test for marijuana. We were successful with ban the box. And ban the boxes used to be if you had been convicted of a criminal offense, you would be ineligible. You had to tell, basically. Well, we got rid of that. We need to get rid of testing for marijuana. You would see in those states in which marijuana is legal, the rise in employment would be astronomical. Or, they're down there at the plant and, or you can work for the road commission now. Oh, they're not testing for that. You mean I can get $20 plus benefits? Absolutely. They're not testing. Do you know how many people would be in line to get those jobs? But when we are building things in the city of Detroit, we look up, and I want y'all, and tell me if I'm lying. We see people that do not look like us in the building and trade making buku money. I'm talking about that big money, $25, $30, $40 an hour. But they drinking, but they not smoking weed. So when the mayor and the city council said, well, you got to hire from within, nobody could pass the marijuana test. But marijuana is legal. It's another way, S says, to unfairly segregate. Let's not be into it. Oh, okay. But that's my problem. See, if we're going to deal with big problems, we have to be able to confront the elephant in the room. We can't just say, oh, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. To hell with that. There's an elephant in the room and we need to have a discussion about it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I see it. I smell it. And I'm going to identify it, because it's only in that way that things change. But if we're oblivious to it or we fear it, nothing changes. And I am sick of that. You know what I'm saying? I am sick of that. I came from an era where my parents were in segregation. And they were like, this is wrong. And these were college educated people that were active in a movement to change something. But we so damn oblivious. Well, that's just what they say. Well, the hell with what they say. So the next round of people, the discussion needs to be, well, what's your position on state and local government hiring people and not requiring them to test for marijuana usage? I mean, what's your position on that? That needs to be something that we need to look at. Because if it is, guess what happens? We start to see people that look like us build downtown. We start to see people look like us provide for their families, because they're not being discriminated against, because they're consuming a legal product. Now, I just had to say that. I'm just on the roll today, baby. And you know what? I think I did have some coffee a little earlier, but maybe it's the kind of coffee that I had. Oh, shoot. Let me shut up. I got some callers. Shut your mouth. How much time we got, baby? I've got
7 minutes.
7 minutes. Let's take these callers. I'm going to shut up. Reverend Joseph Jackson, you're on.
Good afternoon, Lady Vonda. I appreciate you. You are a true warrior. God bless you. I appreciate what you do, what you say, and you are correct. My question for you today is, I posed this question on last evening on another show, and they couldn't help me out, but they said an attorney or a judge could. I have a twofold question. Why wasn't the previous governor, Snyder, charged for more than just misdemeanors? And my second question is, Gretchen Whitmer was involved in the alliance or the aligning of people going to nursing homes during COVID. Can you help uncover that? And
going to nursing homes and doing what? You said they were going to nursing homes and doing what?
They were going into nursing homes, and she supposedly was slammed for that. And I don't know what she did.
I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that, other than maybe to try to get them with the COVID, or it may have been when, the oversight of the nursing homes. But listen, let me explain this to you, Reverend. Let me explain this to you about the charging. Charging is based on the evaluation of the unit that brings the case, whether it's the attorney general, whether it is a Wayne, or whether it's a prosecuting attorney, whether it's a United States attorney. What they do is look at the allegations, okay? They look at the involvement, and they make a determination of what charge is appropriate. Do I believe, have I seen that there may be other things that people look at, like the notoriety of an individual, the success of a person, the fact that they don't have assets? Have I seen people charge differently or overcharge because they were poor and Black? Absolutely. Have I seen people being given a break because they were affluent and Black? Absolutely. I've seen it across the board. You have to be able to look at there's a lot that goes into a charging decision that, quite frankly, I don't think should. But then there are a lot of people that are strong enough to bring charges. And, you know, one of the things I have to say, you know, I mean, you know, obviously everybody has a different opinion, but hands off to Kim Worthy for being able to charge police at a time when you never did that. You just didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? You let the police handle it internally. But she was able to say, you know what, the hell with that. I need to do a more thorough investigation because police make on-the-spot decisions. But if it appears that these police have broken the law, then that's what I'm going to do. They were charged by the attorney general at that time, which was a Republican. Okay?
Okay.
So
let me ask you this. So was there a certain immunity granted to Governor Snyder, the reason he was able to skirt through this?
No, let me explain this to you. Immunity is an agreement normally to not bring a charge for a benefit. Okay? So it may be what we call use immunity. We can't use this against you if you give us this information, give us the lowdown on something. But it is a granting of a charging body to not pursue criminal charges. And it's normally because of something that they have received, whether it's inside information. Many times when you, say for instance, you're in a federal system, this is a good example, and there may be somebody who has committed a crime. The federal government has the right to say, if you tell us everything it is to know about the trash department, we won't charge you with a crime. And they have them to sign an immunity agreement, okay? That they will not be charged in exchange for their cooperation in another investigation. That happens all the time. I don't know enough about how and why they charge because I didn't look at the evidence. Okay? So I can't say it should have been this or that. That would not be a good thing. I'm gonna say this to you. What I learned in my 58 years on this planet and being a judge for 22 is your truth, my truth, and the truth. I don't try to bring or speculate about things I don't know. I don't know what was presented. So therefore, it would be irresponsible for me to say he should have been charged with a felony when I don't have all of the evidence. The evidence that I know about is what you know about, and that's what we read. But that doesn't have to be all the evidence. All right. So thank you so much for Reverend Jackson for calling and listening. And, you know, like I said, you know, this is wonderful. If you don't mind me asking, could I ask you a question? How old are you?
You sure can. I'm your age. I'm 58.
Okay, 58. Listen, we got 58-year-olds listening on the radio to talk radio. We doing a thing. We'll be back. Hey, Aiden and Sharon and Percy, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So anyway, as I was saying, we need to do things that are cutting edge. We got to start looking at life differently. But people who make the laws are looking at the laws from the standpoint of what it used to be 20 years ago. Oh, marijuana is legal now. How can a city, a municipality, a state test for something that's legal? But they do. And it starts with these elected officials coming up with the law. If the Supreme Court can interpret the law to say, you know, women don't have a right to choose, or that women are in a position, or people are in a position for affirmative action, why can't we say that? Because it's what you're doing is you encouraging drug use. What? But we're not asking the real questions. And so this is my feeling, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the last election that I am voting for people who are not willing to deal with the core issue. And my question coming up, would you propose for to get more jobs in the community? Do you support dropping marijuana testing? And what is your position about how we need to make this community better, this America better, by taking and investing in domestic issues? Now, that's going to be how I am. Now, anything else, I can't worry about that. But we need to deal with this, because I tell you, I would see my young men and women, my young kings and queens, they be so hurt. I said, why? Well, I got my training, but I smoke weed and I can't get a job. And what would happen? They end up working some little punk job that they don't want to do. And what do? They fall off. But I got my skilled tradesman. I'm this, I'm that, but I can't get a job because I tested positive for marijuana. But it's legal. Sit down, clown. We need to have these conversations. But what we do is people just come in and they take from us. The people that wanted to sell the weed, they came in, they selling weed, making money, they ran out. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to educate these people. Put that money that you put into advertising and getting people to support that legislation into being able to say, we are going to support elected officials who are willing to say we need to eradicate drug testing at the municipal, city, and state level. Let them weed people come in here. But they put millions in Michigan. They got it passed, and now they in another state. While many people now are using marijuana, but they can't get a job. But where y'all at? Where y'all at, big weed companies? Where you at, Cookies? Not to just throw it. I'm saying, where you at, House of Denmark, whatever, House of Weed, where y'all at? Shouldn't the industry put money together to support people or candidates that agree that drug testing for marijuana should be abolished? But you don't hear them talking about that, because everybody looking out for themselves. If it ain't my phone no more, I don't care about them. And that is destructive thinking. Okay? I'm sorry, I got on my soapbox. Let's get to the next caller. Aiden.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks, love. What's going on?
Okay, me, myself, I used to be a marijuana smoker. I stopped years ago. So I do understand the effects of it. I got my job, it don't require drug testing. One of the workers, he smoked weed on the job. And I noticed the effects of the marijuana. I noticed the difference.
Hey, do you notice the difference? Let me just say this to you, please, if I may. Do you know, let me just say this to you, Aiden, that there are people, okay, who they drunk on a job too. Do you notice that or no?
Yes, I noticed that as well. And you can tell the difference in the both. I don't believe there's nothing wrong with taking marijuana. I'm more scriptural. It's a herb of the field, so it is to be ingested more than smoked. Liquor, if a person chooses to consume it, as long as they don't get drunk off of it, But as I stated, if a person at a job drunk, you can see his actions are not normal. A person smoking marijuana, I'm seeing the actions of the guy at the job. He was just, he'd start a task and then he'd look at something else and leave the task and go to something else. He would leave the tool right in the middle of the work spot where people can trip over it. He will, his thought frame is all over the place. He's so relaxed. He'll sit down. You know, I don't think.
But let me say this to you, Aiden. Let me say this to you, Aiden. Let's be real. And I'm gonna keep it 100. I know people that smoke weed every day that are doctors and lawyers. People who operate on people. And they done smoke weed before they done got there hitting that little bait. Okay? Let's be for real about that. I know doctors and lawyers personally. Okay? And the people that they operated on or defended were found not guilty and they successful out here. It depends on the individual and the level of consumption. Now, if you're trying to get obviously, but if you feel, I know it's people, let me tell you something, it would be, let me tell you this, I didn't know when lawyers and my clients came, and you know, the then defendants came in, I didn't know who was smelling like weed. Hell, the lawyers were smelling like weed too. Okay? And they was doing a damn good job. I can't categorically say that because a person smokes weed, they're going to not be effective at their job. I do believe that it is a degree of consumption. If you a person that you just, you know, people say, I gotta feel it. That means that you intoxicated. But it depends on the individual person as well. But hell, like I said, when they came in my courtroom, I didn't know if it was the lawyer or it was the client. I'm like, damn, I smell weed all in my courtroom. And when it got legal, I sure didn't know who it was then. But they did their jobs. Katie says, and she's in the medical profession, ditto. I know doctors that make edibles for their patients. Anything can be abused, Aiden. And that's the thing. You may not even smell it on them. Them doctors, you know, eating the cookies. They even put an oil in the coffee. They got this. It's out of control. I'm telling you, you can do an edible. You know what I'm talking about, Aiden. So you ain't even got to smell it, but you got people that's under the influence from the damn butter. But my point being to you, marijuana industry, come back, support people, candidates that will say, ban the box for testing for marijuana. Now, Aiden, what you talking about, if you outrageous and alcohol and you just leaving tools around so people can stumble over and all that, you need to be fired. That's all I'm saying. But I do believe that. Okay, all right. Sharon.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. Good afternoon, Attorney Evans.
Thank you.
I want to say that I almost killed a man because my father gave me some marijuana to try, and it made me real paranoid. And for the secondhand smoke with the marijuana, and you know, you put that fentanyl in it. Put,
I'm not talking, Sharon. I'm not. I understand. Right. Right, Sharon. I'm not talking about that. Let me say this to you.
Everything, again, it's all right in moderation.
Right.
But most of the time, it's not.
Sharon.
Not using in moderation.
Sharon.
You got the weed, you got the alcohol.
Sharon.
AT&T, but there.
Sharon. How about them people that put that? How about them people that put that date rape drug in that liquor that be making them people die at the bar?
They make them go to rehab, or else they get fired.
Oh, that's what they do at AT&T?
I don't really care for any of the alcohol or the marijuana, none of that stuff. And it's cotton pills and hard drugs.
Okay.
So that's my kind of you have to be careful of all that different stuff.
I
Lies
believe
can
it.
mess you up.
All right. How about Percy? We got Percy on the line.
Yeah, you got Percy on.
What's
You
up?
hear me? Can you
Yes.
hear me? Well, two things, right? I got hired in '76 in the auto industry. And let me tell you, people smoke weed, pop pills, and did all kind of stuff and still got the job done. But here's the thing. I'll point out two other things. The other thing, the one thing about marijuana, which I have a problem with why they test it, you can smoke marijuana 2 weeks ago and get tested and haven't smoked anything from 2 weeks ago, and it'll still come up and show that you got it in your system.
That's right.
But here's the other part. Here's the other part. So when we made marijuana legal, wasn't that a valid initiative?
Nope.
It wasn't.
Nope. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on for a minute. Wait. Stop. And I said, okay, all right. No, there was not. Listen. Now, there was not a requirement that the municipalities were forbidden from testing. It should have been part of that. But if you work for the city, you work for the state, you and the county, you are drug tested.
Okay, that's not what I asked you. I'm saying, what made marijuana legal in Michigan? Didn't we have to vote on it?
Yeah.
To be legal in Michigan to be able to use? Yes. And it was so that was a valid initiative that the people signed signatures to put it on the ballot to vote for. You can do the same thing to ban the test for smoking marijuana on the job.
But let me ask this question to you. Listen, let me just ask this question to you. Let me ask this question to you. If all of these companies put millions of dollars and they did their research, why the hell did they put that part of that initiative? You know why? Because they didn't care. All they wanted was for us to go.
But still, we see the injustice in it, so we got to put our civic environment involved to make it corrected. So we can, as citizens, civically, can get the signatures to put on the ban the box when it comes to testing for marijuana on the job, seeing how it's legal. It's a legal substance now. So make it a ballot initiative and get the people to vote for it.
Wait a minute, Percy.
Yes.
Listen to this. Doing a ballot initiative to get those signatures just to get on the ballot. Do you know what that cost about? $1 million statewide. We'll be back.
So they use the companies, like you were saying, get them to help support that. But help get it on the ballot.
Hey, Percy, don't nobody want to pay for yesterday's high. They gone. They back in California. They don't care about us. We'll be back.
Did you know most vitamin supplements?
So anyway, I agree 100% with what Percy is saying. What bothers me is that you did the damage. Now you gone. You don't care. That should have been a part of your initiative. But you knew that if people smoke weed, they were going to be tested at their job, but you didn't give a damn about that. Because you know what they say? That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. So every time I looked up, I see the cannabis people. They all, hey, doing their thing. But then when you get the initiative passed and now people can't get jobs, you gone. because you didn't care about people. You cared about making money. But you wanted us to believe, oh, well, here go the medical studies and all of this. But you couldn't have put that part of that initiative. You didn't care. And so now what you do is you say, well, hey, we got ours. We getting our money. Every time I looked around, oh, this is a cannabis investor. Okay, fine. Well, where y'all at now? You don't care that these men and women don't got jobs. I know right now, Wayne County tests for marijuana use. But it's legal, but they test. That should have been part of that initiative. I agree 100%, but it wasn't. Because all people wanted to do was like, hey, I want to get my money. What have you done for me? To line their pockets. And then they leave us as collateral damage. You on your own with your job. I'm sorry. So when I sell my edibles that I used to couldn't sell, and I sell all my weed, and then I go back to California, Montana, wherever the hell they from, okay? But they don't care. That's all. You know, it's so amazing. They paying $100,000 or $200,000 to try to get a marijuana license. But have any of these people thought about the devastation it's causing in the community to say we need to put initiative together? We need to put an initiative together so that we can elect people to certain positions that understand that we should ban the box. But you don't hear that, okay? And that's the problem that I have. See, let me say this to you. As long as they court you, oh, it's cool. But the minute that the date over with, you left to your own devices. And that's not fair. Okay? Now, I'm saying this to y'all because this is what I want y'all to do. Well, Vonda, why don't you do? Well, hell, I can't do everything, okay? But I'm trying to open y'all eyes so that the very next time we need to be talking about this. And we need to be telling these big companies that's selling their marijuana here, boo, you need to go and ban that box. We need to get some more money. We got to pass the collection plate one more time because we need cities to ban the box on testing. We need counties to ban it. We need that done. So y'all need to come back in here and pass the election plate one time. Okay, so listen, it's coming up. I only got a minute, okay? So I want to tell you what I want to talk to you about. This recently I had done a one of them little social media things about leave that man's phone alone. I probably have gotten over 1 million views and about 100,000 negative, nasty comments about me. But this is what I wanted to do is I wanted to share it with you right quick because I want to talk about it a little bit more. Oh, but let me say this to you before I go. When I said how committed I was so glad that Mr. Dale had allowed people from the community. Judge Nance has one of the best programs on the radio. She talks about the law. Let me say this to you. It's when you're a judge, everybody is asking you to come speak here, come speak there. Baby, it would be like it'd be a little long. It'd be 1 million people asking me stuff. But the fact that she was able to find time in her schedule and her desire to come on to the radio and share the law for free 99 when her expertise would probably be in the hundreds of dollars per hour if she were on the open market. I want to congratulate my girl, Judge Deborah Nance, for doing a phenomenal job. Can we give her a hand? That's my girl. Let me say this to you about Judge Nance. Let me say this to you. Oh my God. Judge, I've known Judge Nance for a while. Okay, listen, I had a case in her courtroom. Baby, let me tell you something. She treated me like a regular lawyer. She demanded that I produce the law. She wasn't all of that gear. She was like, look, baby, she had me on the rope so bad. One time on one case, I was sweating. My daughter, when I came home, my daughter said, what happened? She said, you was in a hearing. I said, ooh, I had a hearing with Judge Nance and she wore me down. But she demanded that I show up very early as a lawyer. And baby, let me tell you something. She's a phenomenal judge. She's a judge in Southfield. And I let me tell you something. She put it to me. And guess what? She didn't rule in my favor. But despite that, I respect her craft. I respect the fact that she puts the same standard for the prosecution and defense. Don't come in here not prepared. All of that high five. No, I'm sorry. And what was that case? And every case that I cited, she researched. I was like, oh, no. So I wasn't successful, but I have a lot of respect for her. But I didn't say that. So I got to give because listen, okay, I got to give it to her. Let me say this to you. You have to celebrate those that are making a difference. And the fact that she comes in tirelessly and comes on to 910, this wonderful forum that we have of activists, of community leaders, of regular people, of lawyers, of judges, I commend her and I love her. And I had to say that. One more clap for Judge Nance. What's up? Okay, so let me get to my thing right quick because I gotta go. We gotta. So this has sparked outrage. Men loved it, women hated it. Here we go. As my father once said, that if you go looking for trouble. Okay, here we go. Okay. Uh-oh. Well, anyway, basically, I don't know what's going on. Technical. Oh, here. What he is doing. As my father once said. Okay, here we go. Go home. So many times women want to find out, well, who's he talking to? What's he doing? Listen, if a man is a good provider and a good father, stop worrying about what he is doing. As my father once said, that if you go looking for trouble, you're going to find it. And then what you're going to do when you get a hold of it, take that extra time that you want to snoop and invest it in yourself. Go work out, work with your children, make your home a pleasant place for you to be and for your children to be. Listen, you cannot miss what you cannot measure. Stop going to look for trouble, because what you're going to do is you're going to give the keys to your kingdom to the outside woman. Let that cleanup woman stay out there. That's her job, to clean up the leftovers. But remember, what's on this phone can wreck your home. The choice is yours. Leave it alone. Okay, now let me say this to you, okay? Because, way back, let me just say this to you. I got so many comments. I'm talking about negative. Woo, grandma, go sit down. But I want to talk about this, okay? And it's about women searching and investigating a man. First of all, had you asked the right question when you first went out? Can you be monogamous? Baby, what is it? They ask you, what you want this time next year for us to be married? They will put you on block. That's your fault. You didn't ask the right question. You looking at, he's sexy. Oh, he got pretty eyes. He handsome. He got a good job. You did not ask the right questions. Then you fall in love with somebody who can't be monogamous. You knew he couldn't be monogamous when you was dating him. But you figure, well, I'm going to feed him and we going to drink and have sex all the time. And I'm going to be a good, better woman to him than in the other ones. Or I'm going to have his baby. Or I'm going to buy him all of this stuff and I'm going to win. You won, but now you got the booby prize. He back up to the same thing again. And so you didn't ask the right question. But you're now there. You looked at the wrong things like most young women do. What do? Well, let me say this to you, ladies. If you have children, if you are married, and he is a wonderful provider, and he's a decent person, but he is a serial cheater, you got two options. You can leave him, or you can worry about you and your children. Follow along. I don't have it on right now, but say, for instance, I had a diamond missing from my necklace. Do I just throw it away? Oh, I got to throw this away. One of my little diamond chips is gone. I throw that away. That's trash. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fix it. And sometimes that don't mean fixing that person. It means fixing you. That means focusing on what you can handle. Stop asking questions and seeking out stuff you can't handle. If you can't handle it, don't ask. Because you'll find out it'll destroy you mentally. And then you walking around here drunk all the time, taking pills, depressed, living your worst life because you didn't ask the right questions in the beginning. Can you be monogamous? Ain't nobody's, oh yeah, I can be monogamous, and you done dated him a year and he ain't never cheated, and then all of a sudden he get married and he cheat. That's a lie from the pit of hell. You been knew what he was about. He tried. Does that make a man terrible? No. It makes him human. The fact that he is got a problem with that makes him human. Just like you human. You got a problem always gossiping, but you keep your legs closed, but you keep your mouth open, always on people. But is he leaving you? But wait a minute. I got one better than this. You all who are married took a vow, you and God and him, that you didn't answer questions about. He mess up, y'all run straight to the divorce court. But your child robbing people, stealing from you, lying, that's my baby, I'm going to be with my baby. Well, get rid of them kids. What's the difference? What's the difference? Well, we'll be back so we can talk about what the difference is, in my opinion. Why, ladies, you having such a tough time with this? We'll be back. So, my point being, I was not saying close your eyes and be oblivious and take your head and put it in the sand. But damn, you put yourself there. Why? You didn't ask the right questions. DeMarcus, the OG, he is he in the audience for online. If you meet a woman and that woman say, I want to be married and I want a man that ain't a cheater and can only want me, if that's something that you don't feel that you can live with, you gonna tell her in the beginning? Hell yeah. Me ain't gonna be like, I don't even want. I told men, said, what you want this time next year to be married? They stop calling. Why? That's not what they want. But y'all women don't want to ask that question. They'd think I'm crazy. But then when you get to acting crazy, because you knew all the time what you were signing up for, now y'all mad. Y'all mad at me. Because I'm saying, worry about your family and yourself. But you're the one that didn't ask the right question in the beginning. Ain't no man gonna lie to you on the very first date. Can you be monogamous? How many women does it take to make you happy? Okay. Have you ever been married before? No. This time next year, do you want to be married? Baby, they'll put you on block. Ain't nobody going, you ain't that bad or sexy a woman that a man gonna lie to you. He gonna tell you the truth. You don't want to ask the right questions. And then you hurt later on. Because it's what we call in the law willful blindness. I don't want to ask that question. Baby, you better ask that question. And what that does is it separates the wheat from the weeds. See, the weeds just want to have a good time. Lay up, smoke weed, go fine dining, buy you a couple bags, have sex, go on vacation. Them the weeds. But the wheat trying to wife you, trying to make a home. But y'all don't want to ask them questions because he look good, he's sexy, he got that, okay, he working with that. Y'all looking at the sex. Oh, he smells so good. Oh, what's that cologne? Look at his beard. Baby, forget all of that. You better be asking your man is can he be monogamous? Okay, that's what we want to know. Forget that. But see, y'all don't want to do that. Because he going to think I'm crazy. No, he going to think you crazy when you are on his phone in the middle of the night. That's when he going to think you crazy. Now, you done got too far into it. You got to ask questions in the beginning. And a man will tell you this. Baby, you a good woman, but not for me because I'm not ready to be committed like that. A man will tell me in a minute, and this I'll be honest. Don't mess with her if you're not for real because she not playing no games. Look, you grown, I'm grown. We ain't got to test the waters. I know what I know to do. I got 2 kids and you got 2 kids. We ain't got to be having no sex. See, this is a different rodeo. The average man will not indulge me in that because my belief is that if you can't commit to God, you can't commit to me. You committed to the world. You committed to having a woman and putting her on rotation. The young girl, old girl. You committed to being at the bar. You committed to hanging with your boys. You're not committed to God. You committed to the world. So while you committed to the world and I'm committed to God, we unequally yoked. I go out to dinner with you, kick the game with you, but I can't be intimate with you. I can't start a relationship with you because you are yoked to the world and I'm yoked to God. See, a God-fearing man or woman, they ain't got to try it out. I got 2 kids to prove I know what I'm doing. I don't need all that, okay? But how you going to tell a man you're not going to be with him intimately and he going to take you serious? Simple. I'm not doing that. And if that's a problem, you're not for me. Women are too afraid of being let down that they don't ask the right questions in the beginning. But let me explain this, sis. You're going to delay the pain now or later. I'd rather you, after the first date, you don't call me no more than for me to not ask you those questions. Think that my sex is going to change you. My apple pie going to change you. Me praying over you going to change you. All of that. And it don't happen. We married and kids, and now all hell breaking loose. And now look what I got. You're going to hurt worse later. And a man will tell you off real. Baby, I got to have at least 2 or 3 women. I'm just sorry. But y'all don't want to hear that. So you don't ask that question. See, but I'm going to keep feeding him pumpkin pie. And I'm going to keep, being nice to him and smelling good and looking good. What the hell is that doing? Nothing. It's not making that man change. If he's a cheater, he is a cheater. But y'all don't want to ask those questions because you're afraid of the answers and you're afraid that he won't see you no more. So you say that's too soon to do it. Well, what? What you waiting for? To after you really start to care for him or God forbid love him, you think he's going to change. And he's not. Because people are who they are. Okay? Let me say this to you. I don't care how nice a man I meet. He could be fine, got all the money. But if he want me to say that, Martians are real, I'm not going to do that. I don't care what you do. I'm not saying Martians are real. People are who they are. Stop wasting your time. The Bible says stop throwing your pearls, your love, your commitment, your support after pigs. Stop doing that. It's a man for you that love you the way, but you so afraid that if you tell him this is how we doing it, he not gonna call you no more. And you gonna be alone. And God forbid, I have to be by myself. That means I'm a loser. And the devil is a liar. It means that I'm going to preserve myself until the right situation presents itself to let me express myself. Damn, that sounded good. I can't believe I said that. But listen, we're getting to the bewitching time. Thank you so much for allowing me to come in your homes, for you to listen to me on the radio. Please think about what I said. We need to move forward. We need to be in love begets love. And we got to stop always focusing on negative things. Again, I want to thank the Adele Communication Company for having a vision of being able to allow me, people like Judge Nance, and the people that I previously indicated, to have a forum, to come on, to talk to you about issues that are facing our community and our world and our relationships. So I thank you so much tonight. I will see you on Single and Satisfied on social media. But until we meet again, God bless you. And remember, if you don't have something good to say, don't say nothing at all. Okay? We got enough negativity out here. Let it start with us being positive, loving, and encouraging of others. God bless you. And thank you, Kevin Adele, wherever you are, for allowing us to have 910. Until I see you tonight, yeah. Until next week, we'll be back. Bye-bye. God bless you. Bye.